A little less than a week ago, Bandai Namco dropped an interview for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This interview was actually conducted all the way back at E3 by Dimitri, but it went mostly unnoticed by the community, but I have seen some recent discussion on Twitter and Reddit about this particular interview because of something that gets said at the very end of it. Dimitri was interviewing the director and producer of the game. Those are two separate people, because of course they are. They talk a lot about stuff we already know about, but there are a couple of gems in here worth pointing out. First of all, the producer specifically mentions that this will be a faithful adaptation of the Z Saga. We've heard similar things to this in the past, but I thought that this was very interesting because it seems to imply that this will cover all of Dragon Ball Z. I wouldn't call it a confirmation, but it's definitely sounding like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will be covering the entirety of Z, which is awesome because there's a lot of moments in the Dragon Ball Z story where Goku isn't present, so I think it's possible we could even see playable Gotenks and a handful of other characters. Gohan. These are characters that would need to be playable for there to be a quote-unquote faithful adaptation. He also mentions the focus on PvE content as opposed to PvP. He mentions that there's a lot of Dragon Ball games with a heavy focus on PvP and he wanted to do something different. And that's kind of it. That's really all they talked about. They talked about the game being an RPG as opposed to other Dragon Ball games and some other stuff that we've already gone over on this channel in the past. But as the panel, the team, the collective are signing off of the video and saying that that's it, we're all done, we're packing up, we're going home, Dimitri casually says there is more to this game than just the Dragon Ball Z Saga. Here is his specific quote.
That's a little bit more info on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. There's more to this game than just the Dragon Ball Z Saga.
Again, this went mostly unnoticed by the internet until recently. People have been talking about it a lot. They're saying that this somehow confirms Dragon Ball Super, and don't get me wrong, I do think that once we have all the DLC for this game, I think there will be some form of Dragon Ball Super content in the game. Whether that be something as simple as a quick little Beerus arc where you can unlock Super Saiyan Blue, or it could be a lot more of Dragon Ball Super. I do think there will be some type of Dragon Ball Super content in the game, specifically for DLC. But I don't think that's what he meant by this statement. When he says that there's more to this game than just the Dragon Ball Z Saga, I think what he means is there's going to be other stuff in the game. Not necessarily before or after Dragon Ball Z, but a little bit in between. We've already seen a little bit of footage of this, in fact. We've seen Goku versus Piccolo as adults, which is a thing that doesn't exist. Living the daily life of Goku is not a part of the Dragon Ball Z Saga. That's something they've actually specifically mentioned you'll be able to do in this game. So what it sounds like to me, this is not just Z, it's more than that. Rather than this is Z and Super. Because if this game did intend to have Super content at launch, I don't think they would have called it Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. The big question is, will this game have the entirety of the Z Saga in it? At this point, I definitely think so. But past that, I don't think we're getting anything. I don't think we're getting regular Dragon Ball content, and I definitely don't think we're getting Dragon Ball Super content, at least not at launch. We might get like a pre-order bonus for Super Saiyan Blue or something like that, but nothing huge. Those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you think. Are you excited about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot? I hope you are, because this game is looking awesome. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like on the video to help other people find it. My name is Bilbzy, and I'll see you in the next video.